I'm following a Twitch streamer that was checking out a lot before I actually checked out a lot on my teammates, who more or less is like partnered with Sneak. So I just thought, like, let's try Sneak. It's a UK based one, which means Brexit, which means they're not gonna send to some places, which means no thank you. I cannot even order, and now it seems that they cannot get to Sweden either. So it feels like there are not many things that get to Sweden. Yeah, you can get a bit like, nah, that's a bit sad. But that's the thing, like, I can understand that now, because I got the mail about how difficult they have with getting all the things they need and all the shipping and stuff right now, like 2 days ago. So it's not like they sent that out just because I got a cancelled order. I more or less got that because I had ordered before. Like, just like a bit of announcement stuff. So yeah, a bit sad, but yeah, stuff like that happens. Unfortunately, not much you can do about that. I'm just gonna get some more sound here. Also, I just realized I'm gonna do voices again. Nice! Except for this guy. This guy is like me, so I'm just gonna do my own voice here. Sneak, which is another like gamer energy drink, you know, like powder, water, shake, drink. So that, but this time I was going to order advanced GG, which is also a powder, water, energy drink type of stuff. Just to try it out. I literally just bought a trial pack, which is the shaker and like 4 or 5 packs of different flavors. Okay, time to do the vampire guy here. My learned... Wait, which one? Sneak or GG? Or advanced, whatever you say. But yeah, stuff like that happens. My learned Nepalese friend is obviously in training to be a clown. The way he regales us with such victicism. Hold on, what the fuck was I talking about before this? It turns out that your books is just on the next corner to oh, right, now I remember. So we are trying to defend someone that they believe stabbed someone. Yeah, one doesn't work because of Brexit. And Brexit is more or less like a rule that they won't be able to send shit out to some countries. Advanced GG just seem to have issues right now. That's all. So I kinda dislike Sneak more right now just because of British Brexit shit going on. But yeah, they thought that this guy I'm defending is the culprit because he went to the bookstore, and the closest bookstore is just on the like vicinity of the place someone got stabbed. But the other bookstore that is your books is literally on the other side, which means that it is on... How can I say it? It's like equal distance to go, so they meet up with the one that was stabbed, or go the other way around. So it's like a 50-50 chance here right now. To your future career in the circus. I am kind of forgot what his stuff was there. Yeah, I understand that. That's annoying. I feel like Sweden is like targeted by shit like that, to be honest, because I feel like I ordered because of one teammate just talked about doing some sort of casual Yu-Gi-Oh tournament. I just thought, like, that was so long ago. So I wanted to actually order some cards, which I actually got the day after, which was today. And it's hella fucking difficult to find a place that actually sells them. It's like it's like, for some reason it's so hard for places to get anything that does it. Yeah, exactly. Nobody likes Sweden. For example, I loved going to GameStop, and then you just get a mail. Oh yeah, every GameStop in Sweden is gonna close up. So years before that, even was it called Games? I think it was called another place called Games, also closed up in Sweden. So every gameplays in Sweden closed up. So I feel like that's bloody annoying. So yeah, I don't know why, but apparently Sweden is targeted by like delivery hate. You put that glass down now, or I'll put it down for you. Fuck, I kind of forgot I'm doing the voices now. Oh yeah, I know about that one. Last time I was there, I think they were doing some redesigning because the only thing they had was like a meter times 2 meters of games. But yeah, I know because I did actually last year actually buy some cards from there. Because I do like to go to board game places and was actually checking for a place close by that actually had that. And that was the one that was closest, which was actually kind of fun. So I went for a day's trip there and checked what they had. But as I said, I think they did some redesign because, well, because of COVID and everything, everyone just didn't go probably there. So they had a bit of redesign, and it was like just like a part of the like inner wall had some games and stuff. So yeah, but yeah, the other thing is just like redesigning for when they're gonna just be able to open up again. I don't think I need to spell it out, but here we go. I'm kind of forget like the voices now, just because I talk about other stuff here. If the accused was coming home from your books instead of Bourbon books. There is no doubt it still would pass by the place where the victim was stabbed. Yeah, if it takes the long route, like as you saw, that's like either above or below. It's like 50-50. Oh yes, thank you, Inspector. I haven't realized he can go the other way around. He can do that. Allow me to reiterate my learned, if somewhat slow Nipponese friend. Yeah, the vampire here. Oh, and there goes the chalice. Wherever the man purchases his musty tomes, it takes no difference in the final analysis. I thought I said that a bit wrong first. As I suspected, you can't fool me, and I don't suggest you try. Fuck, I kind of forgot. There's so many voices to do now. What did I say, eh? I had enough of this now. I beg your pardon? Terribly sorry, but would you mind repeating that? So this game is literally just me doing voices. Miss Naruhodo, we mustn't give up. What? What do you mean? If the prosecution assertion is correct, the member of the jury may very well decide that Mr. Natsume is guilty. Yeah, that's true. So, a difference in this game than the other one is that if the jury more or less points all the way towards guilty, he's already guilty. There's like nothing we can do other than hoping to change the jury's heart. That's all we can do. So we have to more or less make sure they don't go there, so we have to actually deal with that part. We must think. We must consider the assertion just put forward by the prosecution very, very carefully. They claim Sasaki-san must have passed the location of the incident on his way home from your books, but I'm gonna raise an objection. As I said, it's like, it's on the other side. He can go either way. The assertion just made by prosecution is fundamentally flawed. And he doesn't give a shit. Explain yourself, counsel. Yes, my good lord. You see, what I mean on this map, when I turn from your books to his lodgings, Miss Natsume could have followed the route suggested by the prosecution. However, that isn't the only convincible route to take between the two places. If the defendant uses these streets, look what happens. He arrives back in his lodging without passing the location where the victim was attacked.
Objection!
Talking back to a clown is a fool's errand, of course. However, I feel compelled to point out that that route is what is commonly referred to as the long way round. It ain't not. I feel like that was like the least longest route, or at least more or less equal the distance. On a cold winter night, why would any man choose to take a longer road home? Well, sightseeing. Some people like to do that. I don't know about me. I doesn't really go out when it's too cold sometimes. The answer is extremely simple. He wouldn't. In other words, the accused took the obvious route back to his lodgings and is the obvious perpetrator of this crime. But, yes. Okay, what do you got? Obviously, we must ask the man himself. Ask Mr. Natsume which route he took home. I have already informed the court of the accused's response to such a questioning. He claims he has no recollection. Well, that's good. That's right. As I said, the bloke seems to be spending his time outside wandering aimlessly from point A to B. That day was no exception. He says he doesn't remember where he was or which route he took home. Great. So he has no idea where he even went. I thank you, my learned friend, and suggest that we do not waste any more of the court's time by wandering aimlessly around this subject. I don't try it's gonna be over now. We already started, like I just started it like in the end of last stream. Pray, what say you insightful jurors? But even if that's the case, the defense did... Oh... I think everyone is against us. I agree with Lord Van Six. Wholeheartedly, and in every way. I kind of... What was this again? I know I've seen it before, I just kind of forgot for some reason. We members of the jury are completely convinced now. Very well. In that case, I hereby call upon all members of the jury to present your findings to the court. Guilty!
Guilty.
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 Even the guy who said he didn't hear anything says guilty. And also to explain something here, this is what I didn't want to happen. It would appear that the jury's learning is anonymous. Well, that was fast. Great. How many chalices do you have? Like, I'm pretty certain I've at least broken 1 or 2 per case, and I've met him once before. So that must be his 4th chalice. And probably 2nd bottle of wine, because the other one he actually smashed. Miss Naruhodo. Okay, we have to go back and actually check some stuff now. No, not yet. This isn't over yet. I still have one last chance to sway the opinion of the jury. Yeah, because we can, as I said, actually make sure they listen to us and change their heart. I have to tip the balance of those scales the other way. I have to turn this around. Somehow. Those are the eyes of Corey, not yet willing to give up and die. I presume you intend to wield your right against in this trial. Again, well, not against, again. Rights of the defense written into antiquated British law that should have been buried long ago. It's kind of fun because they never use the law that I can persuade the jury to actually reconsider, because no one ever used it. It's not a law that has been disbanded, it's just a law that's been forgotten. I can still use it, but people is just like, why the hell is he even using it? But it's the defense prerogative to carry out a summation examination if it so chooses. I think my brain can start functioning after all that programming before. Very well, Council. In accordance with the letter of law, we shall proceed with a summation examination. Are the members of the jury ready? Mr. Foreman? Of course we are. I'm all too familiar with that Nipponese whippersnapper and his uncouth refusal to throw in his alley. Yeah, because last time he was actually on the stand, being a witness. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, you will each explain on what grounds you have determined the defense to be guilty. The defendant to be guilty. Great. So if I don't remember incorrectly, I have to find a something that just impacts each other. Like if one says something, if someone says something else, and then just like they don't go together, I have to more or less point that out. For pity's sake, that Nipponese oddity already admitted himself, didn't he?
He said that a woman in green collapsed before his eyes. Why, it can only have been the victim. The man would have gone around the house on his way back from the bookshop, not in winter. The poor woman was attacked from behind, was she? How dreadful.
I don't care. Can we just wrap this up now? I got work to be doing.
Your books. Yes, nice shop that. But bourbon books? No, not worth a visit.
That's the claim of the whole jury. With only minor exceptions, the reasons for finding the defendant guilty are all too clear. People being not want to be there, apparently. When the stabbing occurred, the only two people at the scene were the victim and the accused. And the accused himself has admitted to seeing the victim in her green overcoat sink to the ground before his eyes. Furthermore, we have from the inspector that the defendant then fled the scene. I must say, I would have ample ground to convict this man already. How? Why? The fuck?
Oh dear, even the judge appeared convinced of Miss Satsuma's guilt now.
Why did he have to run away like that? And how are we supposed to believe in some phantom attacker that nobody could see? Simple. We are in Britain. Everyone says that the fog is thicker than I don't know what.
Mr. Huda, this is no time for grumbling. If we want to force the trial to continue.
Yes, I know. I have to turn the tide. Hold on. My phone just told me something and I don't know what it is. I don't know why, but I always have to sometimes check that, depending on if it's like something important or not. Nah, mostly just Discord. I have so much on Discord mostly because of the teammates. That's all nice. It's nice to have teammates. They're good people. Like if you want to check out some good streamers, you should check out like the Moonlit Yakuza. Not even a joke. Like I have been in many of their stream and they are amazing people.
Exactly. We have no choice but to forge forward.
You have the floor, Council. Begin your summation examination. I want to say cross-examination, but that's another thing in this game. Yes, my lord. Let's see here if I can do this now. Oh, he has fish and chips. Luckily, I'm not that hungry as I was the first time I met this guy. He literally just ate it and ate it and ate it. I got so goddamn hungry just watching him. Yeah.
Hold it!
What exactly did he admit? Excuse me, but aren't you... Yes, that's right. I was in the witness stand myself just 2 days ago. Yes, I had a feeling I know your face. Or this side of it anyway. If I remember correctly, you're a banker, aren't you? That's right. After the gold rush down under, I came back to London to work. And it was all going swingly until you started fossicking around. Bruce Fairplay was a man of repute. Sorry? Don't think I've forgotten how you treated me like the other day. You had made me that... You had me and that young Heather pegged as criminals. Well, you know, water under the bridge. Now there's all sorts of rumors buzzing around, and the police have been badgering me non-stop. I should have not pressed this guy. Well, anyway, I don't think about a hatter, but at least I am in the clear now. I'm free to make up my own mind about who's guilty and who isn't.
Oh dear. I wonder what become of Mr. First now.
Yeah, I kinda like his name. His literally is called Lady First. I sometimes do love the puns in this game. I believe like even Naruhodo is a pun. Because it means something in Japanese, but I don't remember what.
Hold it!
Right, that at the time of the incident, the defendant admits to having seen someone wearing a green overcoat walking ahead of him.
Well, quite. That's precisely my point. Clearly that someone wearing green was the victim. And clearly that funny little Nipponese man with a disturbing mustache is the culprit.
It is a bit like disturbing for some reason. I don't know why, but it's like very like pointing out.
Well, of course, if he does. If he admits to stabbing her, his life is over. The man is obviously a liver-faced coward, honestly, claiming the woman simply collapsed before his eyes.
But if that's a lie, as you're suggesting, do you not think he could have concocted something more credible?
Oh, I really couldn't say. After all, you're a foreign. Who's to say what goes through your funny little minds?
Yeah, this is like, I don't remember really what time it is, but it's about when Japan and the British just signed a peace contract. So this is early on.
I do declare that the man was already made the admission. He himself has stated that there was nobody else around. Sure, the conclusion is obvious. No one else could have possibly have committed this awful crime. If no one else could have done it, the accused must be the man, really. I couldn't be more simple.
Your argument is compelling in its simplicity, I must admit.
Oh my. You are too kind, my lord.
Okay, nothing there. The moment I've gone around the house on its way back from the bookshop, not in winter. I'm gonna press the one I know, because I know her as well.
Hold it!
What does it matter, young man?
You're the wife of Mr. Garideb, aren't you? The landlord who rents his Natsume's his room.
The master's wife? Where do you get that? Get your idea, sir. I'm the maid, you understand?
Yeah, so apparently it was something like if you are a normal household, you have at least one working under you. If you're a rich household, you're many. If you're a poor household, you don't have any. He has his wife. Literally. Why didn't you mention this yesterday? That you'd be selected for the jury in this trial, I mean.
Well, I wasn't told not to mention it to anyone until the day of the trial, you see. It was in the letter I received. The instructions were very clear, so I'm afraid I had no choice.
I see. Anyway, Mr. Natsume, the defendant, takes lodging in your master's house, doesn't he?
Yes, that's right. Although he's only been in a little over a week now.
And at that time, surely you must have taken stock on his character. Does Mr. Natsume look like he's the kind of man who would commit a crime such as this?
Oh my goodness, yes. He's just a sort. What? Spending all his time in the dark and dingy room, sporting an unscrupulously mustache. The man never speaks and doesn't get me started with those shifty eyes. All the neighbors are talking about him. Yeah, he actually kinda has shifty eyes because he is like, he always like looks around his shoulder when he's nervous. He cannot stand still. I've heard them, you know. People think he must be building a bomb in there or something. Well, if he was building a bomb in there, no one would be able to find it because of all the books in there. Oh dear, Miss Natsume. How could people say such things about him? He's just a harmless bookworm. Nothing more. Well, you just called him a worm, so... Ouch.
Hold it!
Yeah, that's the problem. He has to... I don't like this one. He just wants to wrap it up. A man's life is on the line here, sir. This will take as long as it takes. But don't get clever with me now, son. My life's on the line too, and so is my family's. The likes of you wouldn't understand, but laborer like me can afford to take time off. If I don't work, I don't eat. I need to do the wife and kids. Oh, I see. That'll be very hard. I go to the union every morning to find out what needs doing. If you're late and the work's taken, it's tough. Oh, so they actually did like go wherever it was needed. I kinda used to work like that before, but I had to quit because that place was bullshit. It was so bullshit. This time of year, the water and gas supply pipes bursting left and right and center. They're after cheap labor to get the roads dug up to fix it. It's harsh slog from dawn to dusk it is. So you were digging up the roads on the day of the incident as well, were you? That's right. In fact, I remember rightly. It was just around the corner from where it all happened. By that old bookshop it was. That's interesting. Because it depends on which bookshop is he talking about. The Bourbon or the other one. Because if it was the Bourbon and he never saw the accused, he actually went the long way around. Another coincidence. That's right. Mercham Street it was. Where's Mercham Street? Hold on, does the map actually tell the street? Look at that. Look at that. Oh yeah, that's interesting. Care to explain more, mister? Merchant Street. On the map, Naruhodo, there are only 3 named streets. You're number 5. I need you to add that information to formal statement, please. Oh, hold up. Oh, holy crap. What's the point in that? Can we just get business over with? Please, sir, it's important. Fine, I'll do it then. So technically, he's a witness. Yes. Okay, so look. Wrong one.
Hold it!
Sorry. Fold it, you say? Fold what?
No. What I said was hold it. Well, I want to ask, do you visit your books often?
I like the old books there. They have in there, yes. I enjoy reading them over a nice cup of old tea. That's my daily routine, you see. Same thing every day, including the day you're all talking about.
And at what time did you visit your books on the day in question? Oh, holy crap. My drink is out.
Well, I was picking out books in there all afternoon, and it would have been just before 5 that I left. Okay, before 5. And he... Yeah, just before 5 he left, which means that Mr. Natsume was in the same bookshop around 4:45. my daily routine, you see. Same thing every day, including the day you're all talking about.
Just before 5, you say? Exactly when the victim was attacked. Are you sure about the time?
Oh yes, no mistake there, I remember it well. I'm not about to forget that day in a hurry. Not after the dreadful time I had.
What do you mean?
Well, I was walking down Calabash Road when I slipped on ice and donked my head.
Calabash Road. Okay, so that road is icy, okay.
It's always worse after the snow stopped falling. That's when it's most slippery. Knocked myself clear out, I did. I really thought my number was up.
Wait a minute. Let me get this straight. This happened on Calabash Road.
That's right, I live in Cornpipe, you see.
Does cornpipe mean anything? Nope, it does not.
Heading down Calabash Road is the quickest way for me to get back from your books.
You're number 6. I must insist that you add that information to a formal statement. It may be very extremely significant.
Sorry, extremely sick. No, not quite. I'm all right now. It sends a shiver down my spine to hear the members of the jury so convinced of Mrs. Natsume's guilt. But I can't help feeling that some of their opinions are rather subjective.
I agree. It's irrelevance of what some of them are saying that sends shiver down my spine. Still, at least some of their assertion doesn't actually incriminate Miss Natsume or anything. That's something. Yeah, that's what I'm like looking for. People that doesn't really give a shit and just want it to end. For example, the last 2 ones, they just were there. Oh god. Woke up early for Goku class today, so holy crap, I'm a bit knackered. Okay, so I'm gonna do this guy as well. I didn't do this guy before. Did I do this guy before? But you can't deny the other routes Miss Natsume could have taken back from your books.
Oh yes, like you drew on the map, you mean? What was it, Calabash Road or something?
Precisely.
Well, it seems to me that what counts is whether the little Japanese fellow actually went that way or not.
Well, yes, that's true.
At the moment, there's no proof that shows he did, is there?
Well, yes, that's true as well.
As I understand it, the accused himself doesn't remember which way he went, does he?
Well, yes, that's annoyingly true.
Winter nights are dark and cold. The way I see it, you could want to go home as quick as possible. I've given a lot of thought, you know. I didn't just make up my mind on a whim that he did. I mean, if there was something logical reason why he might have gone to the Calabash roadway, it'd be different. I'd be happy to reconsider my position in that case. I would. Yes, a good reason. I don't imagine you'll be able to sway this young man's opinion without one.
So that's where the whole pit comes in. We already talked to her. There we go. I'm gonna pit this one with this guy.
Objection!
Because it literally says that it will be okay if you have proof of him not being able to go that way. And as he said, he was digging up the road from dusk to dawn. Or dusk to dawn, I think it was. And that means that he cannot have gone that way. Those two statements are clearly at odds with one another. Adult counsel, explain yourself.
Please don't point. It wasn't me, I swear.
What? I just want to get this done and dusted. Well, you're number 3.
Oh, me, sir? What do you mean?
Your number 5's words just now are extremely significant. Let's take a moment to consider the implications of what's been said on our map of the local area. On the day in question, Miss Natsume visited this bookshop to purchase a number of second-hand books. On the same day, we know that there was work being carried out on Merchant Street, making it impossible. Which means that the defendant's route home could have been taken along Merchant Street and down Briar Road. Oh yes, of course. What do you think, sir? Well, yes. You can't argue with that, really, can you? We must have had a good 2 yards or more of the parliament up. Every gentleman and gentlewoman that came along had to turn back and go the other way. So the only conclusion is this. The defendant must have taken the longer route back to his lodgings. Yes, I suppose he must have. I suppose I must be right. The other way, he would probably be the person to know because he was working there. He would be able to see the defendant. The man wouldn't have gone around the house on his way back from the bookshop, but we see now that he had no choice. Brilliant! Good. Oh, why am I yawning so much now? Probably because I just woke up early, went to class, listened to raycasting and other stuff. I don't think I'm all good conscience, but that I can say the man's guilty now. Yes, I like to see this trial continue so we can get the bottom of what really happened. So this is what I want to happen, but either I have to do it full on one side, or I need to go more than half. Yeah, who? Me? Well, alright then. There's a hole in the prosecution's argument. It should be filled. That's what I say. Well, people do say do not play with fire, but these people are literally just flinging fire everywhere. Well done, Miss Naruto. That was wonderful. Well, we managed to change a couple of minds at least, and strengthen our position somewhat. Yes, and it prompted the other member of the jury to reconsider their stance as well. They'll be asking themselves if the current learnings are really right or not. Now, if only we could just identify one or more clues of discrepancy that would make them stop doubting Miss Natsume. We might be able to tip the balance completely. That's exactly what we got to do. 1-6 is looking to bring this trial to an early conclusion. That's what we have to prevent, by what means we have to our disposal. Thank you, Counsel. On the summation examination... Oh, on with the summation examination, please. Yes, my lord. Let's go. Okay, so like these two, I don't think... Yeah, these two doesn't matter anymore. So I have to like... If he said a woman collapsed before his eyes, it could have been the victim. Repeat the segment when his auditor already admitted himself, didn't he? Oh. It could be in this one. Because it literally said that he slipped and fell.
Objection!
So what if he didn't see the attack, but when she slipped and fell on the ground? A flaw. What are you talking about, Counsel? Well, you rated number 2, you rated number 6. My, whatever do you mean, sir? Well, he doesn't give a shit. Unbelievable. It's not like I was loud or anything. There's at least one fact of which we can be sure here. The bookshop receipt found in the defendant's room Receipt. Receipt. I feel like receipt because it's literally receipt. I often hear that. Is that how it's spelled? That's so fucking weird. Found in the defendant's room clearly indicates that on the day of the attack, he had been to your books and purchased a number of second-hand titles. He then returned home on foot. But the man says he has no recollection of his return journey. That's correct. But what he does remember is seeing someone appear in front of him on the way. Someone in green overcoat who suddenly collapsed on the pavement before his... I didn't think that far. I just realized that the old man is wearing green. That's brilliant.
Yes, we're all aware of this. The poor young woman who was stabbed obviously.
Objection!
Can we really be sure of that, madam?
Why? Whatever do you mean?
I'm sure you heard juror number 6 account of what happened to him that day. That same afternoon, there was somebody else apart from the victim who was wearing a green overcoat and who fell over on the icy streets in the neighborhood.
Oh my.
Oh, even you listen now.
Oh my goodness. You mean...
That's right. I'm referring, of course, to hard of hearing juror number 6.
Are you really suggesting that the person in green overcoat who the defendant saw collapse in front of his eyes was the jolly old gentleman on the end of the bench here with me today?
That's entirely possible, yes. After all, the old man has had somewhat similar build to the victim. Well, look at that.
My goodness. Sorry, you need to pee.
Luckily, I don't need to. And crucially, we know precisely where the old man in green overcoat fell.
On Calabash Road.
Therefore, if the person whom Mr. Natsume saw collapsing in front of him was in fact juror number 6, it means the defendant must have taken the long route back to his lodgings. And if that's true, then clearly the crime scene on Briar Road, where the woman was stabbed, was not on his way home. Yo! Welcome Turtle Girl to stream. Hello! I'm just trying to convince every juror here that he's not guilty. Also, I'm a bit knackered, probably because I've been doing some programming before this, doing some schoolwork. You idiot. Old man, if you haven't been so daft that you've been roaming around there with a box these hours ago. Oh, really? What were you thinking? We're such a befogging old coat. What do you say to me? Is it a crime for the elderly to walk the streets these days? Is it a crime to slip over on ice? Is it a crime to keep up with the latest styles and wear a beautiful green overcoat, is it? I'm fine. I'm just tired. Let's just say it's not much happening right now. I got my Yu-Gi-Oh cards today that I ordered. I think it was yesterday. Or was it yesterday? Or was it 2 days? I don't remember. I at least ordered them just some day ago. But else, I'm mostly just doing schoolwork, so everything is fine, but rather uneventful. That's what I can say at least.
My lord, I do hope I won't cause an inconvenience, but...
You like to change your learning, I presume. So, technically, 2 people here, which was the green man, the man in green overcoat, and the heavy build man on the left there, had nothing really to say other than he was talking about the bookshop, and the other one was just saying he wants to leave because he's a worker, and to not work is to not earn money, which means no food. So I had to more or less press them. So apparently the man there on the left actually worked on the road, which is this road over here, which blocked up the whole road. And the man, the third man from the left said that the only logical solution would be taking the shortest route, which was the road I was pointing at, because it was winter and hella cold. But because he said I was absolutely just messed with, it was working on, he had to take the long route around, which made me 2 on my side. And then this man said that he went to your bookshop as well, and he slipped and fell on the pavement on, hold on, what was it called? The other road, the Calabash Road, over here. And because the man must have gone through Calabash Road, the woman we were just talking as, or speaking as, said that the only one he could have been seeing just fall on the floor would be the victim. But this man was wearing green overcoat and slipped and fell on that road, the only road he can go to. So I think I get 4 now. I think I get 4 people. The other 2 I don't really have anything on, I believe. What? Is that crime to change your mind, is it? Well, it's not for me. I gladly accept that. There we go. Also, it was more or less hella fast that he just sent him to the dark side of the scale here, to be honest. Yikes. The eyes 2, the nose 4. So the nose have it. Not guilty, they say. Which means we no longer have a consensus amongst the member of the jury. No, it was. It's just that the woman was talking about why the old man was just stupid enough to have such a green overcoat on that day of we spoke of. So he was literally just being mad at why he cannot just wear a nice green overcoat. Could it seem girlish of me to drink from my hallowed chalice moments after raising an objection? Only to crush it in disgust. I pray forgiveness to the discordants. Lord Van Six? It seems I must retract my earlier remark. About what? Me being a clown? He literally called me a clown. Not joking. I mistakenly credit these jurors with intelligence by describing them as insightful. Yet, we have witnessed them falling for a cheap trick performed by an Eastern entertainer. Wait, did he actually call us clowns sometime? I kind of forgot about that. Huh? Whatever do you mean? Objection! I kind of forgot about that part. Huh. I haven't tricked anyone. Everything I've said is the truth. Indeed. Stalwart juror number 5 was undoubtedly repairing the road, as he claims. That you're not a clown, you're an entire circus. Nice! This guy just said I was just going to need to go back to the circus. I believe... Oh, does it actually still save somewhere up there? Hold on. I don't think it does, because it's a way much. Nope. That's too much. I believe you said it was a good 2 yards of the pavement which you have excavated, sir. That's right. It took me a whole day and they paid me a measly tuppence for it. I don't even know what a tuppence is. Now, my learned Nipponese friend, tell me. Do you have any notion of the distance that 2 yards represent? Well, I'm honest, I don't have a clue, no.
2 yards is a little less than 2 meters.
Less than 2 meters? That's not much at all. What the hell? Okay. In other words, a distance readily valued by anyone of moderate vigor. Would you not agree, my stalwart friend? Me? Well, I can't say you're wrong, no. What? And did you perchance erect a sign to prevent pedestrians from passing the site of your works? I wouldn't dream of it. What a waste of time. And of course you would have had a hope of passing anyway. And we just turn any gentlefolk back when they come. Kids just jump right over us all the time. The accused is no gentleman as far as I can see. I have little doubt, however, they could spring over a 2-yard trench in his meanderings around town.
It's not true, is it?
The incontrovertible truth is that the book just purchased by the accused were found at the scene. There can be no doubt that on his way back to his lodgings, Mr. Natsume walked down Briar Road.
That's bad.
And old man.
Cold man? You can talk.
You say that around 5 o'clock on the day in question, you slipped and fell on Calabash Road. Pray, was there any suspicious-looking Nipponese behind you at the time?
Oh, I can't say I remember.
You couldn't remember? How about a wager, my learned friend? You say it was this old man that the accused saw. But if I could lay 1,000 to 1 against you being able to prove it.
Well, shit.
Order! Lord Van Seeks, explain yourself. My lord, if you had such a trenchant argument up your sleeve, why in the world did you not proffer it during the summation examination? I wanted to give this young foreign-year student the sightseeing experience he no doubt came from. I want him to see for himself how the opinion of the jury is so readily swayed.
Well, he has me there at least.
But my hospitality has its limits, and they have been reached, I feel. So, my learned friend, today's sightseeing tour of London is now over.
What are you talking about?
My lord, the prosecution requests permission to call its next witness to the stand. Granted. By leave, bring forth the witness.
Its next witness? Mr. Naruto, do you remember? We've been told on several occasions that we were an eyewitness of the incident. Oh, what?
Oh. I woke up really early today to go to the class, or watch the class, because I was late on the class. I had to do the online course, so woke up, started a computer, sat around, listened. Something weird had happened on the class that couldn't be explained. They had speakers, but for some reason someone had like hijacked the speakers from another class or something, which you could just hear another conversation somewhere else. I was like, what the fuck is going on here? It was kind of fun. Alright, no matter who Van Seeks bring to the stand as his witness, no matter what they say, I believe in Suzuki-san. I know he's innocent. Oh my god! Fucking hell! And I'll keep believing to the every end until the battle is over. I'm just yawning my ass off. Wife and husband? Witnesses, please state your names and occupation for the court. She has very big eyes, I believe. Either it's that or it's because the eyes are shaped like it kind of looks big, I don't know. He has his hat thing in the mouth. Also, I kind of dig like the makeshift ribbon she has on the head. It's like everything they have is nothing but like patched. Even like his helmet is patched. Oof. Constable Rolly, be
Rolly beat. Saw. Nothing to report here on the streets. Saw? What the hell is Saw? Oh, he... It's asleep again. And I'm Miss Beat. Patricia's my name. I'm proud to say that, I'm this young town's hero's wife.
What's the story here?
Well, in truth, we've not been married long.
Either that or something, I don't know. Who knows? She might just keep him up all night. Oh fuck, I don't know why I did that, I just had to. Fuck, just because that thing came, just because of that there. Yeah. Oh, I should have done that. Oh my god, yeah, I should have done that. Oh fucking yeah. I couldn't fucking resist. Just because of that comment of drugging him, I just felt like, yeah, I had to. I fucking had to.
In fact, we celebrated our first anniversary only the other day.
Well, we're only good to that then. No, it was your husband I was asking about. He seems tired. Hardly surprising. While it's being an honorable occupation, patrolling the beat is the most demanding work in the world. Oh, really? I should have heard that before, actually. I'm pretty certain the constable actually explained to us what they do. They like wake people up, patrolling the day, light the gas lights on night, and then go to bed and then wake up early again. Indeed, apart from rare days off, our gallant officers trudge some 20 miles a day, you know. Yeah, that I remember now. They patrol boarding houses and pubs, collect taxes, survey the streets, check that meters are reading true. And they're responsible for keeping the streets clean and lighting the extinguish our street lights.
There are a number of items on that list that doesn't sound much like policing duties at all.
I wouldn't just be falling asleep on my feet. I collapsed long ago. Yeah, I feel like it's more for that 20 miles a day. I better do that in a week. Hold on, what is even that? I just have to check. Because yeah, sometimes I actually do mostly. I'm in the room here, my little apartment. 20 miles. 32 kilometers. I don't know really. Hold on. Oh, why am I? There, Google Maps. Just go there. So I'm just gonna check something here. Just for fun. So if I'm like there, do that, and I live around. There. 16. If I would buy like. If I would buy food and stuff, I would walk around 16. So I would actually say like 20 is like 32 kilometers. No, wait, kilometers. No, hold on, that's 16 minutes, 1.4. No, forget that. It's not even half. I checked minutes instead. I don't know why. I walk around like 3 kilometers whenever I do. So yeah, I'm kind of the same actually. I'm kind of the same. At least when I'm gonna go get food. If it's to town, it's I don't know what it is. Times 2 that, something like that. I don't know. But it goes without saying that a policeman's primary duty is the apprehension of criminals. Even when he's off duty, a constable is expected to investigate or resolve any crimes on his beat. For the London Bobby is a man of honor. And a man of slumber. Oh yeah. I kind of feel the same right now. On the day in question, This man and his wife were walking down Briar Road in the opposite direction, and they witnessed the incident as it occurred. Is that not correct, Mr. and Mrs. Beat? So, he says that the constables have an area they call Beat, and they are called Beats. Okay, that's where the pun is in, apparently.
Yes, that's right, sir. Isn't it, Rolly?
You have to wake him up again.
Constable Rolly Beats, sir. Nothing to report on the street, sir.
What a great witness he's going to be. Very good. I'd like to hear your formal testimonies now, please. You will tell the court exactly what you saw on the afternoon of the incident.
Yes, sir. It was a wedding anniversary, and Rolly was taking me out for a meal. There was no time to change after work. Anyway, two silhouettes appeared out of the fog on the pavement in front of us. All of a sudden, one of them just collapsed on the floor. Then the others gathered something before running off. We ran straight over, of course. And then we went for help at a nearby police box. It was definitely the Japanese man in the dock. Rolly and I both saw him as clear as day.
This is kind of a one-sided testimony because the other guy is just sleeping. Well, this is extremely compelling testimony, I must say.
Oh dear. This policeman and his wife are claiming to have possibly identified Miss Natsume at the scene. If the testimony is true, the alternative course of the event that you establish in the summation examination will be squashed.
It's death kneel, in fact. Because that alternative was never viable in the first place. What an unfortunate becancing. I have no fucking idea. And on your wedding anniversary too.
Oh, I know. I still managed to go out for the evening with my man. I thank the Lord for that.
Gosh, the life of a London puppy sounds very hard indeed. Oh, sorry, I forgot the fucking voice there. Indeed. However, this cross-examination will be over in minutes. You may well have time to rest this afternoon. What do you mean by that? My learned friend, the witness saw the face of the man fleeing the scene. They are testifying under oath that it was without doubt the accused Mr. Soseki Natsume. Also, I'm just gonna check what people I have in here. Yeah, I have people I met on the road as well, I guess. Oh no, there are some missing. Holy crap. Because I met some weird-ass jester, which I actually gonna use the goddamn button for, because it kinda reminds me of that guy. They are testifying under oath that it was without doubt the accused. Oh yeah, I read that. Yeah, don't change your minds yet. I'm gonna do some shit here before you have any chance to play with fire. And one of these witnesses is a policeman no less. So you appreciate the gravity of the situation, I'm sure. Except that the man's so tired his wife had to do all the talking. Oh yeah, absolutely. Enough preambling. Counsel for the defense, commence the cross-examination, please. Yes, my lord. Yes, my lord. Time for a cross-examination. 2 witnesses, 1 examination. Okay, I'm just gonna press everything like normal. Jesus Christ. Making sure everything just going smoothly. I just put my hand on my cord here. I just kind of want to see the goddamn card I got. I got a hell of a nut card here. As I said, I got my Yu-Gi-Oh cards today. Where is it? Where's the fucking serpent? I have a reptile one here, which is absolutely insane. Hold on, where the fuck? Where is it? Nope, that's the king. I'm looking for the queen. Where's the queen? Oh fuck, I have to go through like 60 fucking cards there. Oh, there we go. Venominga, the deity of poisonous snakes. So, I don't know if you're gonna be able to see this one, but I got this card. It doesn't even focus, really. So technically it has 0 attack, 0 defense. But apparently it gets attack depending on how many reptiles are in your graveyard. So it's like it gets, what is it? Let me just find it. 500 per reptile. So I need just like 6 to be able to get 3000. Also, it cannot be normal summon, it has to be summoned using a trap card. But also there's something kind of fun here. When this card inflicts battle damage to your opponent, place 1 hyper venom counter on it. When the 3rd hyper venom counter is placed on this card, you win the duel. Which means if I'm capable of doing damage to a player using this card 3 times, I win, no matter how little damage I do to them. They're like, that's so insane. So yeah, I bought 1 standard pack, which is like I have a like out of the deck playable deck, and out of buy playable deck, and I bought myself 10 packs of other, and I got that, some of those trap cards, and a few reptiles, to be honest. So yeah, that thing is gonna do some damage. Holy crap.
I think Rolly looks ever so handsome in his uniform.
I was about to like actually record what cards I got, but unfortunately my phone had no memory for it and just turned off in the middle of everything without me noticing it. So I just ended up unpacking them otherwise.
What? I just finished my beats. Pat and I were heading back to the station. I was actually planning on getting changed there.
Is he talking to sleep? This is creepy.
Oh no, Rolly. I much prefer you in uniform. Sometimes I don't recognize you when I see you in plain clothes.
Why do I get the feeling like she's more about the uniform than the guy?
Oh dear, that doesn't seem healthy.
It doesn't really seem healthy, to be honest. Kindly adhere to the point. You're going for a meal after you had finished your beat for the day, correct?
That's right. Yes, although I was fit to drop, to be honest, after spending the whole day on my feet. But policing is my life. As long as I'm the proud owner of this, I'll serve my city and my coin to the end.
What is that? Yeah, like if it wasn't so much about the whole I like you in the uniform part, I would have not disagreed to them to marrying. But literally like, nah, I'm gonna stop you from changing clothes. I want you in police uniform. It's like, yeah, I think something is a bit unhealthy here.
My warrant card. Proof that I'm a London copper. Is a noble founding principle of the force written on it as a reminder to all of us policemen of sworn duty.
I cannot do love though that he has that the chin wrap in his mouth and just chewing on it.
To patrol the street of London town, uphold the peace of the common man. And for such noble cause, I cover 20 miles every single day without fail and without grumble. Because I know that the plundering of my boots is all Londoners need to feel safe and secure.
So fighting crime doesn't appear to come into it then.
But sure, just on the other particular day, I was looking forward to celebrating my wedding anniversary. But Mrs. Bate puts up with a lot being married to a puppy like me. I want to show my dear wife how much I care.
Okay, though we said it was kind of unhealthy, I get the feeling he doesn't really give a shit. I don't know how this is gonna end. We thought of sometimes not even just the trial is gonna go turn around. Yeah, he seems happy. Both of them seems happy. That's what I'm saying. I don't know if we're gonna turn this around by the end of this, or if they're gonna stay like that.
What a charming couple. Their young love is such a joy to behold.
Also, young and young. I kind of get the feeling you're like the same age. Does it even say 16? Oh no, they're actually older. They're a bit older. A little over the top, perhaps. Yeah, a bit. And then, kindly describe what happened next. To be honest, I kind of got put off guard with what they were doing to each other there a bit. I don't know why. It was literally just like dancing and just cuddling with each other in front of everyone. Like, what the fuck just happened?
Hold it!
Two silhouettes.
That's right. They were coming towards us, walking up Briar Road in the opposite direction.
When you say walking up, like which direction is up on a road? Because technically a road goes west, north, east or south. Which one is up?
There was a rather plump figure, followed by a scrawny and thin-looking man. That does sound like the victim as pictured in this print, unlike Mr. Natsume.
Yes, unfortunately it does. And you're certain that at that time there was nobody else nearby?
Oh yes, quite certain. It was dark, but there are streetlights on Briar Road, you see. There was nobody else around at all. Isn't that right, my darling?
I'm gonna be honest, it feels a bit odd just saying that word for some reason.
Oh, what? Yes, that's right. Of course, there was a light fog on the ground. The Briar Road is dead straight, and you could see a fair long way down the pavement. And then there was a street light as well. I didn't see any other pedestrian.
Before sleep takes a firm hold, your answer please, Mr. Beat. Are you quite sure of what you just said?
Yes, sure. What's a copper who spends all day, every day?
I can see her eyes gleaming in the corner of my eyes.
Keep a watch on the streets, I swear to it. Sure.
Okay, I'm not again with this. Like, I have no problem with both of your love, but there is a saying called get a room. They're still maintaining there was no one else around other than the victim and the attacker. It started to seem like it must have been how it really happened.
Oh god. It's beginning to seem like there's nowhere to run.
Well, that didn't stop Mr. Natsume, did it? He fled the scene all too convincingly. Thank you. I believe we have a reasonably clear idea of the situation just before the incident now. What happened in the crucial moment that followed? Okay, so yeah, she collapsed.
Hold it!
What happened with the collapse? Also, what? Oh, I've been like streaming halfway through. Scattered something. What do you mean by that?
Oh well, I couldn't quite make it out what it was at the time. But then we got closer, we realized what it was. Didn't we, darling?
Again, I said that word without even thinking.
What? Oh, yes, that's right. It was some old books.
I see. Old books.
Yes, sure. The culprit had dropped a number of them, all around where the victim laid on the pavement.
Indeed, as clearly pictured in his photographic print. If I could just see the titles. There's some sort of alien language apparently.
Hold it!
Oh, goodness sake! Let's not forget that it remains to be established that the defendant was indeed the attacker.
But we show him. He was the man in the dock without a question. The mustache, the hunched back, the cat-like eyes, the taunt mouth, the snub nose, everything.
I kind of feel like he has a very high-pitched voice, I may give him, to be honest. Well, it doesn't really matter.
That's right. Look down at that poor defenseless woman with those terrifying, intense eyes. And then suddenly threw his books onto the pavement and ran away.
I see. This is tough. They seem as though they're telling truth here. May I remind the court that this unambiguous testimony comes from a policeman and his wife. Now please, continue. You really want to like smear it in on going easy and just make sure the jury decides the fate and not just like fight to the end.
Yes, sure. We ran straight over, of course, and then we went for help at a nearby police box.
Hold it!
Was it your husband who went to fetch help?
Oh no, I went. I may not be a police officer myself, but I am proud wife of one after all. Isn't it right, my darling?
I don't know why, each time I say that word, especially in that voice, it's odd.
Oh, yes, that's right. I asked Mrs. B to go. I was off duty by that point, but I'm probably never truly off duty, of course, so I felt obligated to stay and guard the scene.
Very laudable, Mr. Beat. Preserving the scene of a crime is a task of considerable importance. Apparently in Japan, in this game, they didn't actually do that. I'm glad that bloody constable at least did something.
That's why I sent Patricia, you see. I told her where to find the right police box.
Forgive my ignorance, but what do you mean exactly by the right police box?
Well, it depends on the crime location, you see, as to who deals with it. Where the woman was stabbed wasn't actually on my beat. So I told Patricia the way to the police box for the beat the incident fell under, so she could go and report it. And I ran there as quickly as I could and asked for the help from the Bobby on duty. It's nothing more potent than a young couple in love working together, you know.
Also, their voice is kind of killing me. I'm just gonna go and get myself a drink because I have a very small glass, which is the one true glass. It's empty. Yes, it's hallowed chalice, and I have the one true glass. I do wonder which one is strongest. Even I am drinking red, to be honest. And thanks to our swift response, the case was quickly resolved. The action of 2 model citizens.
Oh please, you're making us blush. Isn't he, darling?
Fuck, I don't know why that word is like making me just like, no, why am I saying that? But I'm just doing it because of the goddamn text and voice I'm doing.
Yes, sure. What Patricia just said, sure.
Let's move on, shall we? I haven't found anything of use here.
Hold it!
How do you know it definitely was him? But surely you wouldn't have been able to see his face by the light of the gas street lamps, would you? Be careful! Like, you might be a lovey-dovey couple, but you're about to strangle your poor husband. I think he's still, like, unconscious after they struggled there, though.
We absolutely could. Us Londoners have exceptional eyesight, I have you know.
Right.
The light from the street lamps was more than enough. And my husband had already told you that the fog was only light, didn't he?
Yes, and what of the fog? We're famous for it across the globe, I believe. But it's an absolute menace of those of us who have to live with it, of course.
Oh, it is. But it's thick, you can't even see the hand on the end of your own arm.
I think I've heard that before. Yeah, he's about to go more unconscious than he already is.
The constant fog makes our eye very sharp, you see. That's why we can tell you for sure and certain that it was that little Japanese man we saw.
Oh yeah, the smog, the British smog. Why are you waking it up like that?
Oh, what? Yes. It was the accused, no mistake. The mustache, the hunchback, the cat-like eyes, the taut mouth, the snub nose. Unmistakable.
As far as this couple testimony is concerned, there can't be any question. It was the second son they saw running away from the scene of the crime. I have found nothing from that. So that's it, isn't it? Their entire testimony.
What do you think, Miss Naruto?
Well, I hate to admit it, but on hearing the testimony, it really does seem, although Miss and Mrs. Beats saw what they saw, it really does seem that Mrs. and Miss Beats, Mr. Beats, saw what they say they saw. Jesus. That was a sentence.
Is Natsume running away from the scene of on Briar Road that day? Yes, I feel the same.
So, if that's true, where does it leave us?
The members of the jury are sure to call for a guilty verdict after this testimony.
Yeah, we have to stop it for somehow.
If Kazuma-sama were here...
Ouch. Thank you for trusting me. What are you trying to say?
I think he would have tried to find a contradiction somewhere else within their testimony.
What do you mean, somewhere else?
The statement about seeing Miss Natsume is unequivocal, calling that into question won't help. But if we could identify some other part of their testimony which appeared to contradict the fact, we might be able to distract them, to make the jury doubt the pair's memory of the day is accurate.
Oh, right.
Put it simply, we must focus on finding a discrepancy in these statements somewhere. If we don't, I'm afraid the trial may reach an early and unfavorable conclusion.
Yeah, I already pressed everything.
Mr. Lawyer, sir, can I ask you something?
Yes, of course. What is it?
Well, you keep asking us all these questions about everything we told you, so... It seems like you don't believe our testimony. Is that right, is it?
Well, out with it. I don't know why, but I think this is kind of fucking adorable, though. Just hides behind him and just like, yeah, this is my absolutely strong husband, and using his arm to just like punch the air. I don't know why, but this is fucking adorable, to be honest. Well, no, it's not really, not that at all. Yeah, I fucking love this one. So even though it seems that she really loves the copper part of him, something tells me like she really just loves him a lot in a way. I don't know if it's like too much Or too much on the other way we thought of the whole being copper thing.
My husband is a policeman, remember? And I know what I saw. I remember every last detail, everything. Oh, I know. What about the books the man dropped? I could tell you the names of every single one. I could. Every single one. And you dare question how reliable my testimony is?
That will do, Miss B.
No, it won't do at all. Jesus Christ. That Japanese lawyer has no idea what I'm capable of. Even if I decide to forgive him for insulting us, I don't think for a minute that I really will.
I really didn't mean to cause offense. Please put your husband's fists down. So welcome, I'm a viewer to the stream I'm holding. Sorry, I'm just like having a fun time just watching a couple being a couple. Perhaps would like to the opportunity to supplement your testimony, Mr. Beat. I could not find anything in their testimony, and it ends up with literally, oh, I will lengthen my testimony so you can see I'm telling the truth. Like, okay, sure, bring me more stuff to just analyze here.
Oh, thank you, my lord. That would settle things nicely. Wouldn't it, darling?
I think you're shaking enough. I think it's like unconscious completely now. Probably from blood loss of just strangling me with that.
What is it called again?
Fuck, I'm so tired. It's like my brain stopped working. What the fuck is it called? We call it hallusduik, so I cannot translate that to English because it's something else, I believe. Fuck, I don't remember. Jesus. Okay. Yes, we know there were books dropped at the scene of the crime, as you say. You have no idea? Like the thing they have around the neck. I'm trying to figure that out. What is it called? Fuck, I have to use translate for this. I'm so annoyed by this. It's just called scarf. Is it? I'm pretty certain it's called something else. Cravat? Well, that's another word. A scarf. I'm pretty certain I've heard another name for scarf. Because for me, a scarf is more or less like something you just have for nice stuff. Like, yeah, cravat is something just called cravat. Because we have something called necktie, which is slips, halsduk, cravat. So I don't know why, but apparently like halsduk in Swedish is what they have now. Can be translated as scarf, neck piece, or necktie. But a necktie is also something called a slips, which is, you know, the whole thing just from here to here, that most gentlemen wear. While a neck piece, I have no bloody idea what that is. Those purchased by the accused at the nearby second-hand bookshop on the day in question.
After I'd been to the police box for help,
Whenever someone forgets a word, it makes me forget it too. It's really weird. Yeah, the problem is like, I just like... I think you said something like... Wait. No! You saying sympathy amnesia. I think Gani said something about some sort of other amnesia. Because each time he comes into the stream, he says he was about to say something, but forgot it when he comes into stream. I get the feeling this is completely an amnesia stream for some goddamn reason.
And after I've been to police box for help, I decided to have a good look over the area for good measure. I'm a proud policewoman's wife after all. I did it for Rolly.
Why do I feel he just was asleep at the moment? And what was your husband doing at the time? Yeah, these squeaky voices. The problem is like, the time he talked about that was on a Song of Horror stream. And when you say your squeaky voices are brainwashes, I just feel like, wait, do you mean I have a squeaky voice all the time? Because I just thought about that. But yeah, I have absolutely squeaky voices in this one. I can tell you that for certain.
Oh, he was laying face down in the...
I was first like, wait, wasn't it a woman that was stabbed? And then like, get well-deserved rest. So you mean that you're face down in the snow?
He works ever so hard, you know. Ever so hard. Don't you, my darling?
Interesting way of guarding the scene of a crime. Well, Miss Pete, seeing as you regaled the court with tales of your powers of recollection, would you be so kind as to recount the titles of the books you observed at the scene? And before you do that, let me just check. Okay, the pictures of Monsieur Lecoq. Fuck, I forgot about that title. Jesus fucking Christ. I don't even know if that is how you pronounce it, but it literally just becomes Li Si, which means lick. What's that? O-Q, Lecoq. Lecoq. Oh, fucking hell. A meal of Gaborai. Canterbury yearnings. Fucking hell, what title? Let's see if we talked about some sort of Lecoq.
I'd be happy to. Now, are you all listening?
Oh yeah, I've already even collected it.
There was the picture of Monsieur somebody or other, and what's it yearnings? And then there was a meal for someone, and the last one was definitely Thingamiz something.
What the fuck? You talking about 4 books? I only read 3 books. Who was what was the 4th book? What was the 4th book? Because it was a yearning, it was a meal for someone, and the pictures of... She doesn't want to say Lecoq. Oh my fucking god, I am too much as a police officer there right now to even be able to say anything with a straight fucking face right now.
You see?
Well, though that wasn't really fully 100%er, I can say you did at least give me what is it, 4 out of 3 books, which is concerning. Yes, I still there's 1 or 2 holes in your memory.
Oh well, they're along those lines, I'm quite sure.
They were indeed the books found at the scene with the titles along those lines, as you put it.
Well, what did I tell you? So, I think it's very mean the way you've been implying that my testimony can't be trusted. Don't you agree, darling?
Oh, he has a gun! Oh, he has a gun! Okay, I am worried now. A man that is so tired should not have a gun. Oh god, I am kinda intimidated right now, even though his face is not really intimidating.
Anyone who upsets my Patricia will have to answer to me too.
Also, why do I have a squeaky voice for him anyway? It's just because of, like, the face, for some reason. Terrifying. Yeah, I feel the same way. Yes, she really is. Yeah, I found something though. I found something. Don't worry, don't worry, don't worry. I have something because they recollected a 4th book. And if that was not a person's book, then whose book was it? That means there is a 3rd party. And I'm gonna go to the bottom of that one. There we go. Present. Receipt. I say receipt for some reason. Why is there a P? Is the P silent? Like in pterodactyl for some reason. With a receipt. Because there's a P there. So you're saying that there were 4 books. Oh, that's interesting. Because I tried to read it before when you weren't here. I was like, how the fuck do you pronounce that? Because I pronounced it as receipt. Right, receipt. Receipt. But like, what the fuck doesn't work? I just like gave up as a receipt anyway.
That's right, I remember all of them.
The picture much, yeah, she was the one to say it. I'm sorry, Mr. Beat. But there is a fundamental flaw in that statement of yours.
Oh no, what flaw?
Simply that at the scene of the crime, there were only 3 books, not 4.
What?
This is the receipt from the workshop. Workshop? Why the fuck did I say workshop? Bookshop, where the defendant bought his books.
Your books.
Yes, and the details Miss Natsume's purchases that day. But as you can see, only 3 books are listed.
Only 3? Oh, but no, that can't be. I remember seeing them. There were 4 books, I tell you. 4 dirty old books.
I really love when she does that for some reason. I don't know why. Oh really? Have a good look at this photographic print of the scene of the crime. Yeah, I actually see 4 books. As you can clearly see from this evidence as well, there are only 3 books. Yeah, there are only 3 books. I didn't actually think about that. I thought it was like outside of the photograph, so I didn't really think too much about it.
But I just don't believe it. I saw them there, I swear it, I saw them.
I feel pity for his neck. I feel pity for his neck. So it cannot be denied that though you say it was the defendant you saw, you could very well be mistaken.
Oh no, no.
Oh.
Objection!
Where is his scarf going? It was like it went from... Oh, are they wearing the same fucking scarf? Because it was like it went through his arm, or like behind his arm, and like it just like turned by the end of her. Are they wearing like a big ass scarf together? I am gonna be honest, that is fucking adorable. But like, that kind of put me off guard there for a moment. Oh, there comes the chalice again. Well, cheers then. Who has the most powerful glass? I can tell you you have the most powerful drink because I don't drink alcohol. What could be denied is that these 2 witnesses saw the accused running from the scene. A fact that you know very well you have no hope of disproving. So you're striven to avert attention from that by dint of some inconsequential descriptions. Could that be fair? But your plan has somewhat recoiled against you. What are you talking about? It's quite simple. Let me explain with a toast. To the policeman's wife and her entirely accurate testimony in every aspect. You see, the matter is not up to debate. At the scene of Briar Road, a total of 4 books were most definitely found.
Objection!
But what about the photographic print? It only shows 3 books. Quite right, 3 can be seen in that print. Yeah, it's outside the print. Have you ever tasted what's ever inside of that glass? Allow me to present another. One of those that shows the victim's hands. Oh, that book is that book burnt? Hold on, I cannot fucking read that upside down. Hold on, I have to crack my neck here a bit. The Lion's Pride. Oh, the Lion's Pride. Ooh, I am getting some sense into this one, I say. Because for first of all, that... Wait, what was the wife throwing again? I remember the wife that is a maid throwing something because she thought that her husband was cheating on her. If she actually was throwing one of the books, because that's a burned book, and it's a lie. Oh, also I remember he's saying his favorite book was The Lion's Pride. I just remembered that now. So does that mean that... I do wonder if she just got hit in the noggin by that book and the other guy just ran. They just didn't see the goddamn book. Because that book came from somewhere around the incident. As you will observe, the fourth book was hidden from view in original print by the victim's torso. Oh, so you just feel it's very a-okay to just hide it. Yeah, they do have a chair scarf. Okay, that's actually a bit adorable, to be honest. Order.
There you see, look at that, look. It's just like I said, isn't it, my darling? Yes, sure. Patricia always right.
Let us study the recipe for books purchased by the accused on the day in question. Miss Beat, the titles once again, if you please.
Oh yes, of course. The picture of Monsieur somebody or other?
The picture of a Monsieur Lecoq. It's so fucking weird to say that.
What's its yearnings?
Canterbury Journeys.
A meal of someone for someone.
A meal for Gabura Riao, in fact. As the court has just heard, the witness remembered the book titles flawlessly, save for a minor detail. Miss Beat's power of recollection can only be described as exceptional. Yeah, and you just gave us some proof of where the other book came from.
Did you hear that, Rolly? The gentleman paid me a compliment. Yes, sir. Flawless. Patricia is flawless.
But there are only 3 books on the recipe, and Miss Beats mentioned 4. There's nothing surprising about that. Clearly the 4th book in the victim is shown in this Clearly the 4th book is that which isn't shown in this photographic print. I'm sorry, counsel, but does that not seem odd? Why would the 4th book be omitted from the receipt? It's not odd at all, my lord. As the photograph clearly shows, the 4th book was found in the victim's clutches. In other words, it belongs to the victim. Haha! I got you there, mate. I have something against you there. Oh yeah, wait, do I have him as proof? Hold on, because... Yeah, here, him. Also, you cannot see the slap on his right side of the face, though.
I wonder what became of that 4th book.
Obviously, it wasn't overlooked by the investigating officers at Scotland Yard. I have it here, as evidence. You will submit that to the aforementioned photographic print to the court, please. My pleasure, my lord. He just fucked himself over with that. He literally is like, yeah, this belongs to the victim. Like, yeah, perhaps you might think so, but I have heard some stories about where that book comes from. So you literally just fucked yourself over there, mate. The prosecution rests. I have no further to add. Well, I have, so just hold your goddamn horses there, mate. Oof, that's a badly burned book.
Oh, look at this. The book has been badly burned.
I just said that. You're right. You'll never be able to read it in this state, especially not the later pages.
What a terrible waste. Judging from the scorched edges of paper, I think the damage must have occurred very recently. A book recently damaged by fire. Why does that raise a red flag with me? You're not the only one. You're not the only one. Let me see. It's a book entitled The Lion's Pride. I'm afraid I don't know any English literature at all, so it wouldn't be something I've heard. Wait a minute. The Lion's Pride? That's strange. I think I've heard about that book by name before. And very recently too. It's a title I recognize too, Miss Naruto. Yeah, I know whose book it is. So you can hold your horses there, mate, because I have something. What? You seem surprised, my learned friend. But your resistance until now has been in vain. Entertaining, yes, but futile. The spurious long route to accused lodgings that you try to establish in your summation examination, and attempt discrediting of the witness's powers of recollection in your cross-examination. He walked right into that one. You see, everything we said is true. For first of all, I heard a crack there and a bling. Oh. Did you wake up from that, mate? Did you? Yes, Pat. Marry me, Pat. You're already married. So, perhaps the ladies and gentlemen of the jury would like to reconsider their position. Should the court waste any more time on this Nipponese travesty? Or is the decision you have made all too apparent already? You have heard all the witnesses and seen all of the evidence. This trial has run its course. Miss Naruto, I'm afraid we are in a terrible, precarious position. I know, but if I fight back in the wrong way now, I could very well just make matters worse. Think, Ryunosuke. Think. What should I do? Raise an objection. I am gonna object because there is something here. I'm not done yet. No, my learned friend. It's over. That last cross-examination was your final chance to establish a credible defense, and you failed. The die has been cast. There is no more room for debate. Well, it might be over as far as you're concerned, but I can't think of what to say. Don't think then, remember? If we may, Lord Van Six, it seems somewhat boorish to close down the debate at this point. Your insignificant little Eastern Isle must be a lawless hole indeed. Yikes, you just burned a whole goddamn nation. For a lovely juridical assistant to have the audacity to intervene at a moment like this. I am too. My shame was still a very inexperienced lawyer. To my shame, a very inexperienced lawyer. So you will have to forgive me, but I consider my assistant's advice essential and her opinion invaluable. One of this land's great guiding principle is tolerance, so the court will hear you out, madam. Yeah, don't be a dick, Van Six. Very well. Pray, what insight can you give us? What have we all overlooked in the matter that you see fit to pursue further? Well, the court has been presented with new evidence, but only after the last examination finished. I see. And you believe that this new evidence warrants further examination, do you? Miss Naruto, what do you think? Yeah, it does. Is it possible that in this new evidence might be the decisive proof we need for waiting for? The judge is sure to ask the member of the jury to announce their learnings in a moment. Did I read it wrong? Is it leaning or learning? Hold on. I'm like... Leaning. Okay, I just read wrong there. So we must take this opportunity to examine newly presented evidence thoroughly as possible. Yeah, I know. I don't need to fix the photograph. I already know something. This is it. Sasuto-san has managed to win one last chance here. I can't let it go to waste. The defense wishes to present evidence, my lord. Very well. The defense may present one further piece of evidence. Evidence that apparently offers a profound insight into this case. Yeah, the goddamn book.
Take that!
I know about the book. Obviously, the evidence in question is this.
Objection!
Obviously, it isn't. Oh, fucking hell. You already had an ample opportunity to discuss that evidence. If you disagree, feel free. What? But that is the one. You cannot say it's the photograph then. I know! That's what I was going through. Okay, yeah, sure. I'm gonna check the photo again because these two are the new ones. So I'm gonna check this then. I cannot check anything with this. I'm gonna check this again then. Either is this one or the photo. Okay, let's just try the photo. Because, as you said, find some new evidence through the evidence, like, find something through the new evidence. So I'm just gonna do this. That's the only thing I have. The evidence in question is what we can see from the newly presented photographic print of the same crime scene. The fourth book found in the victim's hand.
Objection!
Oh, so somehow I cannot present the book, but I can present the book in the photo. Brilliant. We have already discussed the fourth book at length. Other than it being in the victim's grasp at the time of the incident, no significance has been attached to it. Pursuing the matter further will be a flagrant waste of the court's time, as you well know. Yes. I'm afraid, counsel, I must concur with the prosecution on this matter. When I afford you this opportunity, you led the court to believe that the evidence in question contained a hitherto undiscovered clue. So I must insist that you elaborate, counsel. You will identify this clue at once. Do you make myself clear? Oh, yes, my lord. It's Naruto. I believe the prosecution is trying to avoid a thorough examination of the evidence. Oh, that piece of shit. Which means you may very well be on the right track. Yes, I think you might be right. Why do you want not to do that then? Oh, you're a scoundrel! Precisely where is the vital clue in this case? Which of this fourth book conceals? It's the burn mark on the backside, big as Atlantis. I don't know. Oh, I pressed the wrong button, god dang it. there, present. I would ask the court to observe the back of the book in question. The back? What do you... Oh, good gracious. It's been burned to a crisp. So we have to ask ourselves, why was the victim clutching what is clearly an unreadable book? It is undeniably an extremely unnatural thing for her to have been doing.
Objection!
Unnatural, you say? And what of it, my Nipponese friend? Were I to concede the point, if it bears no relation to the case, there is nothing to discuss. So, should you wish to assert that this fire damage is some veiled clue as what happened that day? I'm pretty certain she got hit in the noggin with a book. And if the wife was angry enough, she might have just thrown a knife as well. Ooh. Pray, do enlighten us all. What truth does this charred book hide? A charred book. There is just one possibility here, which I can't quite bring it myself to rule out. It's an outside chance certainly, but worth a try. Alright, I explain my theory. Don't keep us waiting any longer then, Counsel. Explain this theory of yours. What are you suggesting that you can assert from the fire damage? Its owner. My lord, the burn on the back of this book reveals a startling truth about the book's owner. I beg your pardon.
But we already know who the book belongs to. The victim was grappling it in her hand as she fell to the floor after all. It's obviously hers.
The question of how this book came to the victim's hand has yet to be answered. However, as to the question of who the book really belongs to and where it originated, the defense has a very credible answer. Good gracious, how can you possibly... Very well. I'll playing along with this futile attempt to delay your inevitable demise. But do remember, the members of the jury may well burn you if your little gamble goes awry. Counsel, the defense response here is very likely to influence the final outcome of this trial. So tell the court, who do you claim is the owner of this burnt book?
Take that!
The answer is that the book belongs to a couple who owns the house where the defendant has his lodgings. A certain Mr. and Mrs. Garideb. The landlords. And whether this is some extraordinary coincidence or some kind of fate at work, I don't know, but... Of all the people in London, one of 6 chosen for jury duty in this country room today is no one other than Mrs. Garidebs herself.
Oh my goodness, me! I think you must be mistaken, sir. I'm not Mrs. Garideb's wife. I'm his maid.
Things would be much easier if you just dropped the pretense. Alright then, how about a simple question for you? Have you ever seen this book in Mr. Garideb's house?
I would never presume to know all of the books he keeps, sir.
Objection!
This is outlandish behavior. This woman is accused's landlady, you say? I implicate this hard-working member of the public. Your best merge her without a shred of evidence. Your actions are unforgivable.
Objection!
We actually talked to them, unlike you did. This is no mere conjecture. The defendant happens to know that on the day in question, almost exactly the same time as the victim was stabbed on the apartment below, another incident was taking place in the room on the top floor of Mr. and Miss Garideb's house. Good lord, what sort of incident, counsel? A fire, my lord. I'm afraid to say it was. Happened in a blink of an eye, you know. The whole place filled with smoke. Couldn't see a belly thing. It didn't take long for the fire to spread, of course. The belly furniture starting to go up as well. Most of all, my favorite book called The Lion's Pride. Yeah, and check the book's name, everyone. Oh! Oh, he is freaking out completely right now. The Lion's Pride. By Jove, the very same title of the subject of this debate. Oh, dearie me.
Objection!
This is risible. All you told the court is that a book by the same name was involved in a fire. In which case it would be Yeah, like, and when he started that, it was like scary as hell in a way. Just like it was like he was about to lose his shit there. In which case it would be reasonable to assume that it was burned to ashes. And entirely unreasonable to infer that it magically removed itself to the scene of the crime. Perhaps it would make more sense if I told you that the cause of the fire was material discord. Without going into details, it appeared that Mrs. Garridad was considerably enraged. Apparently, she continued to attack Mr. Garridad even amid the flames.
Oh, how awful! I can't even imagine being so horrid to the one I love. The one you love, can you, Rolly? Absolutely not. Sure, Patricia would never raise a finger against me, sure.
He just said she will not raise a finger. So for first of all, what have you done to her then? Okay. All my favorite old novels in that case. But as soon as the fire got hold of them, that was it. Whoosh. Up in smoke. Then the wife started hurling things at me. I was back against the window under heavy enemy fire. Incendiary books incoming thens to the dozen. Flaming books, people. The man had his back up against the window and he had burning books thrown at him. Goodness gracious, are you suggesting that the book was thrown through a window and landed considerably at the scene of the crime?
Objection!
No. A thorough investigation of the surrounding area was conducted the very evening of the incident, and there were no report of the Garridab's window pane being broken. That's quite true. We also saw no sign of broken glass when we visited Garridab's household. But it's not conceivable that the victim that the window was open time in, not even remotely. Let us not forget the season and the chilling weather that accompanies it. So you mean you would like close your windows while there is a fire and smoke is filling the room and your lungs? No Londoner would ever leave a window open in the middle of winter. Does the defense postulate this scenario in all seriousness, counsel? Do you earnestly claim that the book found at the scene was a flaming projectile thrown by Mr. Garridab's wife? Yes, it was. Yeah, no problem, Turtle. I'll see you next time, which is gonna be Thursday. I'm gonna try and download Scarlet Nexus because I am finished with Fatal Frame. So yeah, I'll see you then. I don't know what I'm gonna play after that. I have no idea. I'm gonna figure that out. I have some games I've been playing on my spare time, but I'm gonna just do some stuff there. Let me guess. Oh yeah, it's her. Of course it's her.
Well, I hope everyone can see you for what you are now, you little fortune trickster. You call yourself a lawyer, but you're just a coward, a mean coward.
Really?
Claim that a little stiff set to the whole neighborhood, all right, honestly. Implying that I'm merely posing a maid for appearance sake. How could you? There's nothing to do with this beastly case, not at all. All you've done is sully our family's name.
No, I assure you, that's never the intention.
Dragging an upstanding citizen's name through the mud, simply to divert attention from your failing defense. I should box your ears, and that's I should do. Utterly unforgivable.
Too alright. How long have we sat here now, listening to this Nipponese spouting out his fancy foreign terrorists? But think about it. At the end of the day, the only person who could have possibly stabbed the victim is that little hunchback with a mustache. And he ran away from the scene too.
I do declare you're right.
It's true.
Yes, what did I tell you?
Makes sense to me.
Sorry. What's that?
It will appear that the ladies and gentlemen of the jury here once again is in full agreement. What is your position, Lord Van Six? I would cheer with you, but my glass is empty. In truth, my lord, I feel these have been unnecessarily protracted proceedings. But then, one must always exercise patience in order to savor the best vintage. No, wait. The Mister of the Fourth Book... Oh, there comes the boot! He has a boot up now. If the books are your prediction, my learned friend, study them on your own time. No, forgive the discourtesy this time. In that case, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, you will now state your individual decisions regarding the defendant's culpability for the court to hear.
Guilty!
Guilty.
Guilty!
Oh, God damn it,
Guilty.
everyone.
Guilty!
Guilty.
Oh, fucking hell. Oh, well, rapid fire, just like the books that no one is caring about. Brilliant. Again with this bullshit. Thank you for your unambiguous response. That's twice now.
Mr. Naruto, don't give up.
Is this it? Susato?
Have you forgotten? The battle isn't over yet.
You're not suggesting...
Of course, the defense has the right to another summation examination at this point. You can still convince the jurors to change their minds. You have one more chance.
My lord, the defense exercises its right to some summation examination. You believe you still have tricks up your sleeve. I don't intend to trick anybody. I intend to uncover the truth. Yeah, the only one that tricks is the other guy. It's literally it's like, yeah, I'm not gonna show this proof until later on. And yeah, we have a book, it is the person's. And like, no, it's not the person's. Okay then, but it doesn't have anything to do with this. Like, why the hell did you even show the fucking book then? If it doesn't have anything to do, then it's not even a proof of anything. But apparently you thought it was proof because it was a fourth book. And now you just say that the book doesn't matter. That's just goddamn great. I have considered the defense counsel's request for a further summation examination of the jury. And I have determined that the court must uphold the defense jurisdictional right to this procedure. So, counsel, you will now proceed with your second summation examination. I presume the jury is ready, Mr. Foreman. We are, my lord. Very good. In that case, I must ask each of you to state clearly, consistently for the court, the grounds on which you find the defendant guilty for this crime. Okay, let's go into this one again. Nice. The accused left behind evidence at the scene, didn't he? The 3 books of his.
It was If there was some novel alternative explanation about how the victim was stabbed, I might reconsider. Even if the woman was throwing books, it can be related to this crime if the window was closed, can it? Dear me, it was only a little book, only life-threatening even with a direct hit.
Look, I just want to get this over with. If I don't bring home some pay tonight, I'll be in tied a bit of trouble.
Come to think of it, I had a fire at home a while ago. It gave me the sneezes.
Okay, so now I just have to find some sort of thing here. So I'm just gonna press them first. My learned student friend was unable to find fault in the previous witness testimony. So the court must accept the fact that this was indeed the accused seen fleeing from the scene. And moreover, no one else was even at the scene to commit the crime. Well, if the eyewitnesses are correct, it would seem as if the conclusion is somewhat set in stone. I fail to see how it would be argued any other way. Yeah, I have to find some sort of way to make sure they are all right this thing. Isn't it obvious? Who stabbed the woman and how? Those two details, I agree. Simply give us a name and a method which the attack was conducted. I presume you're ready, Counsel. Sorry, I zoned out there for a moment. I zoned out there for a moment. I kinda got a bit of a blank stare there. Holy crap. Yes, my lord.
We have a book that disappeared from Gary Debb's house on the evening of the incident, and the fourth book found in the victim's hand.
There must be a way to link the two. Yes, that's what we have to find. Using every technique I've learned into my short career so far, whatever it takes.
Don't forget to keep an eye on Miss Gary Debbs and how she reacts. Even to the thing other people say.
Oh, wait, hold on.
Hold it!
Okay, there we go. But as we know, there were 4 books, not 3. Well, what difference does it make? There's never a possibility that the 4th book in fact belongs to the defendant's landlord. Yes, that's part I have a problem with. Sorry? Well, at the point the woman was stabbed, this landlord fellow was at home, wasn't he? And going in fiery scrap with his wife or something, you said. That's not exactly how I put it, no. Well, anyway, the point is the fellow and his wife were somewhat else when it happens.
I think that's what you call a strong alibi.
So it couldn't have been the landlord who did it, which only leaves the Japanese fella. Honestly, I can't see what all this papers is about. It's done deal, isn't it?
Hold it!
So you might be willing to change your decision, you mean?
Oh my, such a delight on your face, but I'm afraid I won't be swayed by emotion. Despite what you might think of me, I'm a very modern, metropolitan, and rational woman.
That's great.
If one reads the morning paper, it's all forgotten by tea time, isn't it? So why read them in the first place? You see, modern, metropolitan...
I don't really read newspaper myself, but cannot see myself at that, especially not a woman.
So despite of one or two puzzlement, I do declare that the man is overwhelmingly guilty. Man,
Can you stop talking like that? You sound like the man you're talking about. Dariel, what the hell is going on with your rude company right now? I can see it popping up like over and over again. Are you having like some issues with the game?
I'm only happy to consider an exciting new theory if you could come up with one.
Yes, I need a new theory for that one. Okay, let's go to the next one.
Hold it!
But what about the possibility that the window was open?
What about it? I mean, there's just no way it could have been.
I can be so sure.
The prosecution fellow over there said it early, didn't he? A witness in London are no joke. You don't want to invite that sort of cold indoors. So no, that window wasn't open, as Londoners like sitting by the fire and staying warm, see?
But you couldn't categorically state that the window wasn't open, could you?
It just wasn't. They couldn't have opened it.
Then what's the point of even having windows, huh?
Counsel, you will kindly refer to childish bickering.
But at the same time, that's true. Like, yeah, it's a fire. We're just gonna let it be, apparently.
Hold it!
But the little book was on fire at the time, was it not?
In flames of lava, I'll have you know.
There's no such thing as loving in scenario.
Well, he brought it upon himself for playing with fire to betray a fiery lover. Isn't it? Well, don't you agree?
Well, any kind of betray is certainly a bad thing, yes. But I think the argument might have arisen out of your misunderstanding, Miss Garadeb.
Never mind that. The point is, we were just having a little dispute, nothing more. I don't want to have any more of these suggesting that there wasn't anything whatsoever with this crime.
Right, well, see about that. And about juror number 5. It doesn't seem to be turning a hair at Mr. Garadeb's relentless onslaught.
It's almost like he's used to it. What a gentle soul he is.
Either that or his wife is just holy crap. Look, I just want to get over with it. Yeah, screw that. You just want to get home, sure, I don't care. You just want to get this over with? How can you sit there and say something like that? A man's future is at stake here. Well, him and me both, like I said before. What? I told you already, I'm a daily laborer, aren't I? I don't bring home some readies with me tonight. You'll find me floating face down on Thames tomorrow morning. What? You heard me. My missus isn't one to mess about, you know. She can be fierce, believe me. A situation like this cropped up the other day. It was, well... You know, it's funny. I can't quite remember. Sorry? It was too frightening, that thing. Must have blacked out.
I wonder if Mr. Bate will ever be dragged into the Thames by his scarf.
Don't even go there. Yeah, we kinda had that thought before or something like that.
Come to think of it, yeah,
okay, so sneezing. What about that? What about that? Does that have anything to do with the decision about the defendant's culpability in this case?
But, sorry, what? You have to speak up, lad.
Could you tell us more about that fire?
It was last winter. My grandchildren baked me a lovely cake on my birthday. It was 75 candles on top, it did. That was a sight to behold, it was.
You put candles on a cake? Was
Was it some kind of devil worship? Well, of course not. It was an angel cake to celebrate my birthday, obviously. It seems that common custom here in Great Britain, Naruto. But anyway, I mustered all my puff to blow them out. Only I must have blown wrong somehow. The flames didn't go out, but the candles went flying all over the room. The furniture caught on fire and everything went up. The whole place filled with smoke. Definitely sounds like a devil worship to me. Okay, then we know that. Candles on a cake is devil worship. You heard it from this guy, folks. What a fiasco it was. Grandchildren, bless them, threw water over me as they tried to put out the flames. And then because the whole room was filled up with smoke, we had to open all the windows to clear it. Yeah, they had to open all the windows to clear it. The bittering winter air rushed over me like the devil dancing on my grave. I caught a terrible cold from it. It put me in hospital for a while. I won't forget that birthday in a hurry. Yikes. I knew it was a devil worship all along. We need to demonstrate who, apart from Miss Natsume, could have attacked a young woman on the streets. As well as how he or she could have done it. Yes, but once again the Euro statement are full of personal conjecture. Also, about the fucking knife. Can I see anything on the knife? Like, is there anything peculiar on the knife? Is there like anything special with this thing? Also, how the shit did you stab someone with this thing? Oh, look here, Miss Naruto. Just at the tip. Oh, I am getting knackered. I'm laughing just off the tip. A small piece of the blade appears to be missing. You're right. Well spotted, Mr. Sasuke. I wonder what could have happened to it. Yes, you don't think you can still be lodged in the victim, do you? Oh dear, I hope not. That sounds terribly painful. Wait, where the fuck is the tip then? Because trying to stab someone with that thing won't work well. I don't know why I never checked the knife before with that, but okay, that's interesting. Okay, so that's that. Is there anything else? Just checking for like anything that has a like a metal piece in it. That's odd. I wonder what a metal piece is somewhere. I think you're going to need to pit them against each other to force them to accept an alternative explanation. Yeah. So there's not a contradiction, but the guy number 6 literally said that he had to open a window for a fire.
Objection!
Which means that it has to be open. These two jurors' statements clearly contradict one another.
They do. How exactly, counsel?
Don't point at me again. I told you it wasn't me. What else did you say? Speak up, lad. Speak up. You're item number 3. Do you see? Oh, me. Yes. See what, sir? Did you hear juror number 6 account of his birthday celebration last year? It seems despite being a Londoner, he opened his window in the middle of winter. Oh, well, yes, of course, because it was an emergency. I mean, obviously, if the room was filled with smoke from the fire, then you'd be mad not to open the... You just fucking realized that. That took you a while. Exactly. On the day in question, at the time of the incident,
There was a fire in the Garideb household, and Mr. Garideb had the following to say about it. The whole place filled with smoke. Oh, hold on. Hi there.
Excuse me.
You're number 4. Do you have something to say about that? Holy crap, you're sipping tea like there was no tomorrow. Mrs. Garideb.
Oh, dearie me! What a meaning of this? How do you dare imply I'm hiding who I really am?
It's imperative that you confirm something to the court. So please, it's time to drop the pretense now. What exactly you say? I don't really read that. Pretense now. Okay.
What is it?
When the fire started in your house that day, did you or your husband open the window?
Well, I beg your pardon. What are you insinuating?
The room would have been thick with smoke after the carpet and the bookcase caught on fire as they did. In a situation like that, it's inconceivable that you wouldn't have opened the window.
And what if you did? Well, alright then, yes. You're alright. My husband was frantically trying to open the window, which can't have been easy since I must continue to give him a justified deserved book battering.
Even though your house was on fire.
I will never stop throwing until the anger subsides. It would be terribly bad for the nerves to do otherwise.
It would be terribly bad for the person in the receiving end. Holy crap.
That's a significant step forward, Miss Naruto. You managed to establish that the window was open. You simply must have had added Miss Garideb's formal statement.
Okay, so we're just gonna pit this one with this one. The window could have been open when the woman was throwing books. I mean, it definitely was possible. It's not just possible; it is what happened.
Hold it.
I'm sorry, but as foreman of the jury, I have to object.
What?
I'm a banker, don't forget, an educated man, and there's no contradiction as far as I see. Okay, yeah. I gotta save for safety reasons. So does that mean I have to go back to those I did before then? Okay, so I'm gonna do the same thing as before, because that at least got some people thinking.
Objection. Hold it.
No, apparently I've already used up those two. That's why I saved for safety reason, because though I used that one, it was a bit odd. I thought if I actually had to go back there and redo some stuff. Okay.
Hold it.
The fourth book found on the scene of the crime shows very obviously sign of fire damage. And the title of the book is The Lion's Pride. The same title in fact as the book that Mr. Garrett told us he has been reading.
Well, I couldn't say.
On the day in question, did you or did you not throw at your husband a copy of The Lion's Pride that he had been reading?
I did. It was the first thing I could lay my hands on, so I hurled it straight at him. And now you come to mention it, yes. It was rather enjoying reading it, you say you're right. Why did you not reveal this information to the court from the outset? Because I couldn't. You insolent little man, I didn't remember. At times like that, you pick up and throw whatever you can lay your hands on. As well you know. Like a knife? I really don't. Oh.
Oh boy.
Sorry. Sorry, because I barely noticed I was throwing a book, much less of the title of it. Hello.
Excuse me.
What are you insinuating here? The voice is kind of killing my throat here. I have to get another glass. Be right back. Not the easiest making voices. Especially when you start to cough about the whole thing going on. What is it, juror number 5? Anything interesting? You know something? I remember what it was. The memory I blocked out. The fear of your wife just blocked the memory out. He was listening to that little... what this granny was saying. Brought it all flooding back. Who are you calling granny, you cheeky devil? I'm Mrs. Garrideb or the maid. I'll have you... I am Mrs. Garrideb or the maid, I have you know. I literally, when I say Mrs. Garrideb, it's literally like, I am not her, I'm the maid. Literally now, I'm Mrs. Garrideb or the maid, I'll have you know. Just decide. The man doesn't even flinch.
It was about 2 weeks ago now. I just got back home after work, like, I put my hand in my pocket for the wages I just earned that day. And I nearly died. There was a hole, every last penny had dropped out.
Oh dear, what a disaster.
We haven't heard half of it, boy. The wife was cutting up some chicken at the time. I could hardly get the words out, but I told her straight. I've lost a day's wager, love. The next thing I knew, the blade was whistling past my ear. Stuck into the wall next to me, it did. About an inch deep.
No words, just terror.
I could smell it then, you know, the god-awful stench of the Thames. I sure was going to end up face down on the muddy banks at that night, I tell you. Now, that's real disaster, isn't it?
Could you add that, please? Because we have a knife.
Anyway, the point is I'm trying to make is... when women lose their rag, they throw anything at you. Knives, hatchets, hammers, you name it.
Mr. Harludo, you mustn't think that all women are so short-tempered and unrefined. You threw me like 4 or 5 times across the room. Throwing household objects at people is, well, it's so uncivilized. Oh, so you mean throwing people is civilized? At least attack with honor, using a bow or the like. What? Attack? Who are you going to attack? Never mind. Anyway, this man's words could be rather significant, I think. Alright, we come back to the bow and arrow thing later, if I dare. If I dare, yeah, that's the question. Okay, wasn't someone wanting to know exactly what was thrown? If there was some novel alternative explanation of what the victim was stabbed, it might be considered. I'm gonna do this one and this
Objection.
Good grief. You mean they don't contradict with each other? Explain yourself at once.
Because one wanted an alternative motive to the stabbing and one just said they would throw knives and everything. Juror number 2, do you think perhaps that this could be such a novel alternative? Oh my, what do you mean? An alternative explanation as to how the victim was stabbed in the back.
What are you talking about?
We demonstrated that the 4th book, The Lion's Pride, that was found on the scene of the crime.
originated in Mr. Garrett's room on the top floor of his house. Therefore, it's quite equally possible that that some other object beside the book could have found its way from the Garrett household to the street below. What that now? After all, Mrs. Garrett could have thrown any number of different objects at her husband. Is that right, juror number 4?
What are you insinuating, you little beanpole?
What is that for insult? Beanpole? I'm beginning to think that ever since the true origin of this book came to light, perhaps she had a feeling that it might be what happened. Now you listen here, you Eastern Gala. As the foreman of this jury, I demand a straight answer. You gave us this yarn about some other object making its way out of the house, but what? What was it? I'm really taking a big gamble here. That was a bold accusation to make, but I haven't any real evidence to back it up. But I'm certain that at the very least it was warrant further investigation. Alright, Mr. Foreman. I'll try to explain to the defense theory. The other object that was found its way from the Garrett household of the scene of crime was this.
Take that!
You're number 4, Mrs. Garrett.
But what? What now?
I must apologize in advance for this, but I need you to confirm something else for the court. This knife. Have you ever seen this knife before?
What?
Good Lord, Counsel, what on earth are you doing? That's a weapon that was lodged in the victim's back, man. My lord, remember that when the victim was attacked, Mrs. and Mrs. Garrett were in the throes of an argument. Mrs. Garrett was hurling anything she could at her husband, who had been backed up against the window. A window that had been opened to clear the smoke, and through which a book sailed and landed at the crime of the sea. But you can't possibly believe that the book was found in the victim. The book was found in the victim's scraps. Are you saying that it flew out the window and crossed the street to land nearly on her hand? Even my missus hasn't got a name like that. Yes, I have to admit there is many details we don't yet understand. But the point, that's precisely why we must not allow this trial to end, not right now.
Oh my.
Mrs. Garrett, your answer please. Have you ever seen this knife?
Oh,
I guess she has. She has. She definitely has. Holy crap, I have never been like this on one of these, I believe.
hoo. My lord, I wish to change my decision. I'm a woman of my word of an oral.
Yes, I agree. I certainly didn't see this coming, but I just don't think it would be right for this trial to come to an end now. So many unanswered questions. Mr. Foreman? I have to agree. But I think the granny did it, I mind. Yes, you know what? I'm quite happy about this at the moment either. All together now, ladies and gents. Bang! Woo! We did it.
Congratulations, Miss Naruto.
So, as a result of the defense summation examination, a number of jurors' leanings have changed. 2 jurors called guilty against 4 now calling innocent. Accordingly, the opinion of this court is divided. And this trial will continue. Hell yeah! How do you feel about that, Van Zakes? He's gonna seek me out like a heat-seeking missile.
Now then, Lord Van Six, how does the prosecution wish to proceed? By probably breaking the chalice once goddamn more. Why just not do it without a drink? This trial is rapidly descending into a farce. Oh, he is actually drinking it, okay. Like a court wine, the first few sips are bitter enough. But what follows is repugnant and good for nothing save the gutter. If I may, Lord Van Six, the defense has just put forward a credible alternative explanation for what happened. Incredible. Is that your considered opinion, Mr. Foreman? Sorry, I thought something popped up there. I don't know why. The defense argument is a joke, to which I barely know how to respond. But let me start by insisting that you must all familiarize yourself better with the relative positions of those places being discussed. What do you mean by that? It should already be more than apparent that between the crime scenes of the Gyarados household runs a rather wide street, Briar Road. Which means that the distance from the Gyarados house to the scene is some, yes, 15 yards.
Let me see, 15 yards. That's around 14 meters.
14 meters? Oh, that's a little further than I can imagine. And as you ladies and gentlemen of the jury rightly noted as having a portentous significance, the fourth book was found in the vicinity, victim's clutches. In other words, the smoldering book whatnotly hurled by the lady of the house traveled some 15 yards to land on the opposite side of the road, nearly between the collapsed victim's fingers and thumb. Is that your final conclusion, my learned and deluded friend? And did the jackknife follow the near identical trajectory to plunge into the middle of the victim's back? This fantasy somewhat stretching the notion of having a bad day for the victim, I think. Even those pathetic serialized detective stories have more believable plots. But I believe it because, yeah, it just landed in between her finger and thumb. It didn't land there. She noticed it, went to get it, and checked it out, which means she was in the same trajectory as the book landed, and the knife managed to just go the same way. So yes, it is possible, because she didn't move. She didn't just, oh, there's a book here, and continue walking, and the knife also thrown at her. She literally just like, what was that? Checking, oh, it's a book, clunk, oh, there goes the knife.
That prosecutor loves the sound of his own voice.
Miss Sasuto.
Serialized detective stories are pathetic, are they? How dare he?
Maybe let's pick our battles here.
My lord, I believe... Might I be allowed to speak?
As your juridical assistant, you may speak for the defense, yes. Go ahead.
The prosecution may consider the idea a fantasy, but what the defense has postulated was believable enough to pursue the jury to change its leaning. And as such, the court has a duty to explore this alternative explanation as thoroughly as possible.
Yeah, like he always says it's a fantasy, it's not true, it's not gonna happen. He never says like, oh yeah, okay, sure, I'm gonna show proof or something. He shows proof. That's mostly just to show it off, more or less.
To that end, juror number 4 is Johan Gardev. Must be called to testify and submit to cross-examination.
Saints alive! Cross-examination a juror! Oh, they're still standing there, those two. Order! Order! Well, this is highly irregular. It is unprecedented for the member of the jury to be summoned to the witness stand.
Objection!
And unnecessary. Lord Van Seeks. There are already witnesses in the stand whose testimony in defense may further cross-examine. If my learned friend Farcial Theory has any truth in it, then both a burning book and a jackknife must have flown through the sky before this couple's eyes. And we must assume that they would be able to testify accordingly. He really loves to just mud in like, yeah, let's not do that. Let's just go with my choices here because those are the best here. What say you, witnesses?
Yes, sir. Constable Rolling Beat reported for duty, sir.
Well, good morning, officer.
Sorry for dozing off until now, sir. I haven't slept for a month on occasion of a villain who's appeared on my beat, sir. Oh, they're so heroic, these London bobbies. Patricia, my darling, I've been neglecting you, but not more.
Oh, good God. Very well. I hereby reject the defense's request and order witnesses in the stand to testify again. State forward before the court and detail pertaining to defense alternative explanation of events.
Yes, sir.
Are you awake now? Are you actually gonna speak? Oh, he is.
The case has nothing to do with Miss Gatterdeb. Believe me, a London Bobby is a good for his word. The window of the top floor of the Gatterdeb house are top hinged casements. Obviously, if anything had been thrown out the window, we would have seen it. I did leave the scene to go to fetch help, but a trusty Rolly was there to make sure nothing was disturbed. I didn't take my eye off the crime of the scene for one moment. Sure, nothing strange to report that front, sure.
Well, this is quite startling. Top hinge casement windows. That detail was not in the police report, Constable.
Oh, yes, sorry about that. I must have been a little drowsy.
You cannot excuse your sins with drowsiness every time, Constable.
No, sure.
I'm sorry, but what exactly is a top hinged casement window? And you cannot excuse your ignorance with such trite remarks, my learned friend. Of course, sorry. I don't even really know what that is.
I found it, Miss Naruto. Cast your mind back to the window in Miss Garrett's room.
Okay, thank you.
So the window opens in order to allow air to circulate inside the house. But as it's a top hinged casement window, it swings open along the upper edge, you see?
I'm glad you stiffed your ignorance. The casement window most poignant feature is to stay a metal bar which prevent the window from being opened beyond a certain point. It prevents its opening. This is all news to me.
Absolutely correct. In other words, if a book or a knife would have been thrown through the open window, it would have clattered against the pane and fallen straight down the pavement below.
You see the problem then? Good. Your education in Windows is complete. There was never any possibility of either the book or the knife traveling 15 yards over the road. There's never a possibility. Yeah, there was never a possibility. Have you already forgotten what you said about the book being in her hand? Just look what you actually gave me. Yeah? That is, unless the window pane had been shattered. Something we discounted already. That can't... Nah, we're still on it, don't worry, we're still on it.
Did you see that, Rolly? That young Japanese man just collapsed in agony. Oh yes, darling, I saw it. I saw how they crumbled before me.
Okay, you, seriously, you to get a room. Like, mate, just get a room. I think I'm gonna end it here also, because it actually is 8 o'clock. So, I'm gonna save here, because I already lost a few lives there.